The Goonicide incident. Oh my god. Oof. The story of the Goonicide guy might seem absurd at first glance, but I feel like behind the mockeries, behind the memes, there is a disturbing truth with how we treat online tragedies. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I've been stuffy for the past couple videos. It's because I'm sick, and I've been sick. I think this is going to be the worst of it. My chest is burning, my head is hurting, but guess what? I said I was going to make a video every day in January, so that's what I'm doing. The Goonicide guy, I don't think any much information is known about this guy online. He didn't really make any absurd comments or anything like that before this incident happened. He had a wife, he had a child, and apparently one day he just got caught with his pants down at a coffee shop. Some woman was filming him, and that was just too much to bear. He decided to take his own life the next day once it was posted online. It's like almost as soon as the post was made, there was already memes talking about it. You know, we have a bunch of people on Twitter, pretty much everywhere, just saying weird things about him, making fun of the whole situation. It's kind of, I don't understand why people find it funny. I mean, it probably comes from the absurdity of the situation. Like, yeah, he got caught with his pants down, and then he took his own life because he was too, he couldn't handle the online criticism, most likely. But I feel like that kind of goes into the dehumanization aspect of that we have on people online pretty much all the time. I feel like everyone just dehumanizes everyone constantly, and I talked about this in my last video with how to fix all the world's problems. We got to stop this dehumanization thing. We got to start having compassion for our fellow man. Beating your own beating your own schlong in the middle of the parking lot while driving up to someone. I mean, that wasn't the best thing to do. That wasn't the smartest thing to do, but obviously I don't think we should be making fun of his death. That's a little bit too far. That crosses over into this weird like I said, sensationalism territory. I mean, obviously, dark humor. I have my fair share of dark humor. I love saying racist jokes. I love joking about death sometimes. I love joking about a lot of things, right? I mean, but I feel like we have a lack of empathy when it comes to people that did bad things. And the thing is, we don't know what he was doing, right? In the video, we can't really, I mean, yeah, we saw that his pants were off, but we didn't know if he was actually beating it, right? Maybe he just forgot his pants, like one of those dreams you have in high school where you show up to the school with no pants, right? I do feel like this perpetuates constant harm online. Like, oh yeah, let's just joke about anything that anyone has done that's even slightly off-putting or wrong, right? Let's just make all the jokes about them. Let's make all the jokes about their death, right? Let's talk about a couple years ago. Not even a couple years ago at this point. It's been almost 10 years, I think, at this point. It's been a long time, right? Let's talk about one of my favorite online video creators named Erica. He was hilarious. He was a great person from what I know of. And before his untimely passing, he did a couple of weird things. I will have to admit, he did a couple of weird things. He posted pornography on his page multiple times to get it deleted. He was doing this weird thing with the cops, cops trying to show up at his door, trying to make sure he's okay, doing a wellness check. He wouldn't let them in. He was making a lot of decisions that seemed very mentally unwell, and when he passed, there was jokes, but not nearly as many, because we all can see that he was going through something. He had something inside of him that was tearing him apart, and we all, as a collective community, knew what was going on. So when people were joking, we was like, hey, yo, chill on, bro. And honestly, with this Goonicide guy, he has no community. He has no one that knew about him before he did his thing. So there's going to be none of that. Of course, there's going to be all people just making fun of him. All people just clowning him, joking, all that. People are saying, get this guy off my timeline, all that, right? I'm here to defend him. I'm here to be like, hey, chill out, all right? Bro made a mistake, all right? We should not be joking about this man and his death. I mean, think about his children. Think about his wife. Like these are things that I feel like the internet does not think about. We don't think about how we're affecting the families of these victims. Ooh, victim is a bit of a weird word. I don't mean victim, but the people that have done these things, right? We don't think about the family of them. So we need to have a balance, right? I can acknowledge that people might feel compelled to make jokes or laugh when stuff like that is happening, right? It might be a coping mechanism. You might want to detach yourself, or you just might find the sheer absurdity of the whole situation to be hilarious. And honestly, in some ways, I can definitely agree. I can definitely see the humor in the entire situation. I just feel like the way a lot of people are going about it is a bit distasteful, maybe even just disrespectful in general. And of course, yeah, I mean, you could argue that, oh yeah, it was disrespectful for him to drive up to the lady with no pants. I understand that. That is crazy. That is a weird thing. But we gotta keep in mind, we don't know necessarily if he was gooning. We don't necessarily know. I mean, we can assume maybe he just did not have pants on that day. You know, who knows? I think we need to step back and consider the real life implications of these actions, right? Like, if you were in real life, if you were talking to someone and making these jokes in an actual real setting, I'm pretty sure people would look at you with a side eye. You know, you'd be getting some side eyes saying the things that these people on Twitter are saying in real life, right? You can't be saying these things about someone who died. Like, have a little bit of compassion. I know it's absurd, it's crazy. The guy was gooning in the parking lot and got caught and then took his own life. But that's the part, right? That it was funny up until then. Now that's the part that's like, okay, buddy, now let's not joke too much about that part. All right, joke about him gooning in the parking lot all you want, but then the taking your own life part, that's the part that we need a little bit of a regulation there, right? A little bit of regulation. Maybe not immediately after he dies, you know, maybe take some time off, you know, I mean, like the whole 9/11 thing. Maybe let's not joke about it until like a month after his passing. But that's the thing, you're gonna forget about it in a month. You're gonna forget about this man's life. But you know who's not gonna forget about it? His child, his wife, his family. The people that were close to him is never gonna forget about this thing. He's forever immortalized as the Goonicide guy. And I think that's horrible. That's a horrible thing to be known as. That's a horrible legacy to leave behind for your children. It's even more horrible that we are making it his legacy. That is the internet's fault. I mean, partially, right? It's partially the internet's fault. I think it's just terrible and terribly selfish how he did such a thing without living with the consequences. I think with these type of things, you have to live with the consequences. Again, I find it okay to find strange or ridiculous things funny. It's okay to make fun of them. But when something like this happens, when someone takes their own life and our first instinct is mockery and memification, what does that say about us? I mean, I know it's not like we're playing the moral high ground here. We're all horrible people on the internet that wants to make fun of things, right? We're all having an experience in life and we just want to talk as much shit as we can on this earth. And when I say we, I mean the people on Twitter, not me personally, but the people on Twitter, right? This is my call to action here. I want you to think critically about your own behavior online and what that kind of behavior can amplify, what kind of things you could be promoting by talking about this Goonicide thing. Like, what do you promote? Are you promoting gooning? Are you promoting it? There's a lot of people that actually are promoting it, that are on his side, that wish him well. It's almost like he's a martyr for these type of people. And I find that very strange, right? And there's already like a million AI videos of him as like different people in like movie scenes and different like situations and scenarios. They put his face on everything. It's so strange. I even saw one picture with him in Suge Knight's car. You know, the same night that Tupac died, he's the new Tupac for some people. What is going on? What is going on? No, seriously, what is going on? Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a whole stack right here. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let me be honest with you. Behind the Goonicide guy, behind the persona, right, there was a real person behind that. There was someone with a family, someone with a child, someone with a wife someone with a mother, someone with a brother, possibly. I don't know if he has siblings, right? But even though he made questionable choices, highly questionable, I don't think a celebration of his passing, even if it was his own doing, is justice. It's cruelty. It's cruel. It's a cruel thing. All right? I feel like we, as netizens, as internet goers, as Twitter users, should be better than this. We should take things like this a little bit more seriously. Because he was probably already on the edge. Because there's no way that he wasn't already struggling with something. So I have to say, if you are struggling, right, then reach out. There's help available, you know, with sex addiction, goon addiction. And if you have thoughts of taking your own life, please reach out. There's never a moment that you should let those thoughts linger in your head. I'm gonna go blow my nose and drink some hot tea.